Hello Capricorn, welcome to this reading. We are going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Capricorn for the end of November. Now, do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Capricorn, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you, where we will be taking a look at the final portion of the month. So the timeline on this reading will be from November 24th all the way until December 4th. The reason I chose December 4th is that is the full moon in Gemini. So Capricorn, we'll be taking a look at what's coming to a close here for you as we close out this month. That said, let's go ahead and get all of the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and we'll get right into it for you. Okay. I think that's looking just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Seven of Pentacles, Capricorn. Okay, so some of you thinking about your long-range money goals here. I see here, let me take a quick look at the cards. You have, Capricorn, you have an incredible set of cards here. This could be a really good time for you as we roll out of the retrograde, which the retrograde ends on the 29th. Kind of we're looking at that period of time here. We roll into December as well. And yeah, this could be looking very good for you here. But the Seven of Pentacles, maybe you're contemplating like what is next for you. Okay, this person is thinking about what's next. All right, they're looking at the field here, the pentacles that they've grown, and they're thinking about what they want to do with the harvest that they have. Do they want to keep it going, or do they want to take it off the table, right? And so you can think retirement accounts, real estate, savings plans, any long-range or long-term money goal, maybe your job that you may be contemplating could come forward with the Seven of Pentacles. Now, this could also be extended out to love as well, right? So like some of you are like maybe thinking about, what does this long-term committed partnership look like to me? Do I want to get into a long-term committed partnership or union with somebody? Like it's the contemplation of the end game, sort of. Like what does the end game look like for you in terms of finances or otherwise, right? This could be something that you're thinking about right now. All right, so let's try to expand on that more as we go along here. And I will stop playing with the cards now. But yeah, as I said, you have double aces here. As I said, you have really good cards. You have double aces here. It seems like in the past you've had some offers and opportunities. Some of you are feeling like a new type of energy here. Okay, you're feeling excited about your future. Okay, to me it looks like you have taken necessary steps and actions to feel good about where you're going from here, and what the future looks like for you. And if you're not, you may be prepared and ready to start taking actions that get you there, right? So right away in the middle here, you do have the Queen of Pentacles, and this could be you showing up here. I do think that this is you here in this reading. I think you are showing up as this Queen of Pentacles. This is somebody who is going to be the first person to arrive and the last person to leave, right? This is somebody who's really hardworking and dedicated. More importantly, the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's practical. And you can see that they have used their practical thinking, their practicality in general, to accumulate success, right? They are sitting here in this throne. They have a pentacle in their hand. They're surrounded by abundance, right? This person is presumably successful, at least financially. And they've used their practical mindset, their practical thinking, their practicality in general to get themselves there, right? And sometimes when you get the Queen of Pentacles, it can sort of be like a call to get back to basics, right? Like what is working for you, what is not working for you, and looking at that in a practical way. That's the way that I would kind of approach this Queen of Pentacles for you. Sorry about that, Capricorn. I had some technical difficulties there. But yeah, I do think that you are showing up here in a really strong spot, in a really strong position. I think that you are ready to actually also start something new, okay, as you think about what's next and you think about long range or long-term goals here. So in the first column, you have the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. All right, so for me, this first column in this reading is going to be the past, okay? So you actually have 3 court cards. You have 3 people cards showing up here in the past. So I do think that you here have received a few offers, okay? There are a couple ways that I could go with this. I think some of you here in the past, you've received a few offers. I also think that some of you have had some people in your ear a little bit, like people telling you what to do, not in a negative or a malicious way, just people sharing their opinions with you, these sorts of things. And I think that ultimately in the past year, you were forced with a decision to make. Okay, and I think that you've chosen a decision, and you've made your decision, and I think that you are now in a position where you're feeling pretty happy about what you did. Okay, about the choice that you made here, right? It's possible that in the past year you were met with a little bit of a setback. Okay, Page of Swords, it can represent like a setback, or it can represent a delay in a process. Okay, this can be something not going according to schedule. And the Page of Pentacles is like a financial offer, an offer that may be associated with money. It could also be an offer to study, to learn. This is the academic of the tarot. So I do think that some of you here have maybe spent significant time leveling up your skills in your place of employment, or in whatever it is that you do in your career field with that Page of Pentacles. I also think some of you could have maybe received a raise, or even an offer for a better job somewhere else as well. This could also be part of your story here in the past, but there was a little bit of a delay or a hiccup. And with the Queen of Swords, what I would say here is that this is usually somebody who is very direct and blunt in their decision-making process. This is somebody who goes, they look for the root of the issue, and they attack the root of the problem, and basically they ruthlessly, or fearlessly is maybe the better way of saying it, go for something, right? And so I think that this is probably an aspect of yourself. Okay, so I do think that you have probably had some people in your ear here in the past telling you what you should do, but ultimately it's your choice, it's your path, it's your decision. And I think that with the Queen of Swords, you have cut out the noise, okay? You've cut out what's not working for you, and you've made a choice that resonates and sticks with you, okay? So I like this Queen of Swords for you. I like what's going on here in the past. In the middle, you do have the Ace of Cups, you have the Queen of Pentacles, and you have the Knight of Wands. All right, so in your current situation here, it's very clear to me that you have, with this Ace of Cups, you have a beautiful new beginning that is upon you here in your current situation. Okay, you have maybe even some of you are experiencing like a period or a moment of bliss in life, because when you think about this Ace of Cups, the cup is overflowing, right? It's totally overflowing. It is a symbol of happiness, and typically happiness are connected to new starts. Now, this can be in love as well, but as you look, as you notice here on the board here, you only have one Cups card, right? So for me, this probably isn't around relationships for many people. If you are starting a new relationship, you need to be certain, this is what you're thinking, okay? You feel like you need to be certain that this person's long-term, okay? With the Seven of Pentacles on the bottom, right? You want to make sure that you're being practical about it, is probably what's going through your mind. And I get a sense that you want to be 100% sure of this person before you proceed. And maybe you've gotten that confirmation for yourself, here with this Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Cups energy. And not only is there a new start here that is forming after you've accepted some offer or invitation here, that you have to really think about, okay, with the double pages here, you really have to think about, not only is there a new beginning that is forming here, but you have the Knight of Wands as well. This is somebody who is absolutely, you could think high on life. This is somebody who absolutely is very excited about the journey in front of them. This is somebody who loves to explore foreign cultures, distant lands. This is a card of relocating. Some of you may be relocating for a job or moving your residence. That may be on the table. Some of you may be considering travel, although, yeah, I mean, you do have two significant travel cards here. This would probably be to a different place because the world can be international travel, and then you've got this idea here of foreign cultures and foreign lands, these sorts of things here with the Knight of Wands. So some of you may be thinking about that. You may be really excited about that. That's going to be a smaller portion of you, but you do have a strong confirmation of that. Some of you are maybe moving to get this new start, to get this fresh start in life. I always say that the Knight of Wands is like the van life card. You know, it's like the card of living an epic life. You know, it's like selling everything, buying a van, and living in a van down by the river. You know, that's like the idea of the Knight of Wands. Okay, and so maybe you're not that extreme, but like maybe you are doing something that feels completely different to you. You know, that feels completely foreign to you, and you're really jumping into it. You know, whether this is in your career or this is in love or this is in another area of life, you're going all in on something. You know, so yeah, that's usually a really exciting combination here. Now, in the future, you do have the Hermit, the Ace of Swords, and the World. All right, so we get another confirmation that this could be actually quite a successful new venture for you, as you have the Ace of Swords. Okay, while the Ace of Cups is happiness around this, the Ace of Swords is usually success around this new venture or this new beginning in life. It is a breakthrough energy. Okay, so I see here in the future that some of you are going to be soul searching a little bit here, as you have the Hermit and the Ace of Swords. This person's looking for the answers in the dark, and usually they're looking for the answers within, right? They're being introspective with the Hermit and the Ace of Swords. So some of you here are maybe thinking about this. Some of you may be getting pretty introspective. We're going to figure out what this is around, okay? But I do see that there is a breakthrough that wants to emerge for you, connected to this new start, connected to this new beginning. You have the World here as well, and the World is not just about international travel. The World is also about, you know, successful completions in life. You know, big successful completions, because it's the final major arcana. It's Saturn, okay, as well as you can see in the lower right corner, it's Saturn energy. It's something that you have put a lot of time into. All right, and so I see that there is some significant success here in the future for you. Okay, and I think that this is all stemming from a choice that you had to make here. You faced some setbacks, you faced some delays. You ultimately went with a choice that felt aligned for you, and I think that the universe wants to reward you here in the future, so to speak, for your good choice. Okay, and you will complete something. It does seem that you have some success here in the future. I'm curious about what's going on here with this Hermit. Could be something connected to you being introspective here in the future. We'll figure out what that is. Some of you may also be like just quite literally gaining wisdom in life. All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the oracle cards. We're going to move into the clarifications portion of this reading. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let's pull some oracle cards here. And then we'll also pull some tarot cards. All right. Okay. Energy on the bottom, you have reconsider. Okay, reconsider. So I do think that this is showing up to connect to this Page of Swords. All right. I'm going to put an asterisk next to this reconsider for now, because I get a sense that some of you are all in. Okay, so I'm gonna see what else we have here before I go into that further. You have opportunity, you're ready, and let go. Oh, and then you have another card under here, wait. I don't know if this is time to wait, you know? With reconsider and wait, this is kind of butting up against an energy that I feel in the cards that speaks to me and says that you are ready now, you know? So some of you may be feeling like you need to reconsider. Some of you may be feeling like you need to wait, all right? But what I'm seeing here is that there's kind of like a go, go, go energy here. It's butting up against this like energy where you're like deliberating between, is it the right thing? Is it the wrong thing? You have not the right time, meditation brings answers, and romance. Okay, so maybe some of you are gonna sort of like park the love stuff for yourself right now. You're gonna kind of park that. You're gonna say, you know what, maybe a relationship isn't what I want or need right now. And it does seem like you have other things going on that have priority over relationships right now. And this is only for the singles that I'm saying this to. Okay, like if you're happily married and everything, you're probably not going to resonate with that. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's get even more details on this reading here, Capricorn. So, do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you. All right, let's see what we have here for you. Go ahead and get a shuffle in here. Now, this is the Galactic Star Tarot. Actually, picked this up in New Zealand earlier this year, and I haven't had a chance to use it until now. So, let me know what you think. I think it's cool. I'm kind of okay with this deck. It's an interesting one. Oop, got the cards reversed here. So, okay, you have the Seven of Cups. You have the Five of Pentacles. And you have the Page of Wands. So we now have 3 pages here in this first column. And to me, I think that this is a pretty direct confirmation that you weren't just having to deal with one offer or one choice. You had a bevy of choices. Like you had, and even with this Seven of Cups, actually for sure, this is definitely confirmation that you were quite overwhelmed and inundated with choice here. As you see, this person is thinking about everything in the cups here. Every cup represents a different choice or option, and you have that here with 3 pages as well. So there was a lot in the past here. I think this was a good problem to have ultimately. I think that here you have the Five of Pentacles card, and this can be feeling down and out. This can be financial loss. It can be just the feeling of scarcity. It doesn't always directly indicate the financial loss, especially when you have a beautiful reading like this. Okay, so it's possible here in the past that ultimately your decision was largely influenced by your money situation, like your finance situation. Some of you really had to take that into consideration because I do see that there was a job opportunity or offer here. This is the Page of Wands is the biggest indicator of a job offer in the tarot from what I've seen as a reader, right? So I think that some of you here got pretty practical. Okay, you had to be pretty practical about the choice that you made. Maybe some of the other options or opportunities seemed more enjoyable, but I get a sense that some of you had to make a practical decision, Yeah, and I think that's where we're going to move to the next column here. You have the Eight of Swords, you have the Moon, and the Page of Cups, another page. Okay, so the Eight of Swords here, this is somebody who is restricted, trapped. This is somebody who is ultimately in their head. The Eight of Swords is like being in your head about something, feeling like there's no way out of a situation, right? If you look at this illustration is interesting, this interpretation is interesting, but it's the same one as other decks. But as you look here, each one of these swords represents a thought, and you see that they're restricted. It's essentially talking about a mental barrier in life that you have to get through. Okay, and for you, this is showing up with the New Start, right? So I said I'm going to put an asterisk on these oracle cards around this idea of reconsidering, and I'm now understanding why. Some of you have second-guessed yourself, okay? Some of you have second-guessed your choice, but it's just because you haven't fully seen the choice play out yet. And the reason I say that is you have the Moon, okay? The Moon, it represents something that is hidden. It represents something in life that you cannot see. And usually there's like a spiritual reason for that, right? We can't see the answer to everything ahead of time. Otherwise, life would be too easy, right? Even as a tarot reader, I can't see the answer to everything all the time. That would be a cheat code. It doesn't work that way, right? And I think what's happening here is some of you, like, the cards really wanted to suggest that you've made the right choice. And I'm going to stick to that, right? There are no wrong choices, but you've made a choice that is going to make you happy, okay? But right now, you are going back and you are thinking, like, what if I would have done B or C instead of A? You chose A. What if I would have chosen B or C? And I think that there's like a little bit of like, some of you are reconsidering the choice that you've made, The cards would suggest that there's something beautiful that is yet to come as a result of this, okay? And you see this here with the Page of Cups. So what, we have all 4 pages now, huh? We have the Page of Pentacles, Swords, Wands, and Cups that are coming in for you. And remember, like, as you have this Page of Cups here with the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands is, like I said, somebody who's an adventurer, somebody who's like living an epic life, okay? So try to enjoy the, I know this is easier said than done, but try to fully sink in and enjoy the path that you're on right now, because it's not the wrong path. There are no wrong paths in life. There are no wrong choices in life, right? It will ultimately always, the choices we make in life will, even if, they will always take us back to our Dharma eventually, right? So there are truly, like, one thing you can do to keep your mind at ease, or to put your mind at ease, is that there truly are no wrong choices, And I see that there's something beautiful here available to you that is yet to come with this Page of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Okay, we have another ace here, so this is a second Ace of Cups. We have the Five of Wands, and we have the Emperor as well. Okay. So with the Emperor, this is somebody who's also successful in business and career, and you had it here around the world, right? I talked about how the world is a completion in life. It can bring about some really good success, in life, in situations. And with the Emperor, that's a double confirmation that this is probably really heavily connected to career. Remember, I'm going to go back to the start, which is you started off this reading here with the Seven of Pentacles, right? In the short term, some of you are maybe questioning what you've done. Okay, but what the cards are suggesting, that over the long run, over the long haul, in the long run, this choice is going to end up being ultimately a good decision, right? The decision that you've made here. And I do see success here for you. It just may not be right away, all right? And I see that some of you are really, really, really internally conflicted about this new beginning with the Five of Wands and the Ace of Swords, okay? But what the cards want you to maybe think about or look at here is with the Ace of Cups and the Hermit, can you find some level of happiness from within, okay? Because the new start is here, okay? You can't get back lost time, okay? You can't go back and re-choose. The choice has already been made, right? That is lost. It's gone, right? That opportunity to choose is over, at least in that specific instance, in that specific time. Doesn't mean you won't have more choices in the future, but that time is gone. So what the cards are asking you to do is to become introspective here. And I said, what does that Hermit mean? Remember, at the midway point of this reading, I said, we're going to have to clarify and see. Well, with that Ace of Cups coming in, the cards are saying, Spirit is saying that happiness is found from within you. And you probably already know that, but here it is. The new start is here. Okay, so is there some way that you can dig deep within yourself and find a reason to enjoy the path that you're on right now? Is there something that you're missing here? You have the Queen of Wands on the bottom. This is all about your confidence, This is about your confidence, your, being courageous, being authentic as well. and being somebody who's really fun to be around. It doesn't mean that you have to try to be a fun person, but more so just be yourself. Be yourself, and the rest will follow, is what the Queen of Wands is all about. So let's see here. Let's see what we have for you here, Capricorn. All right, you have Journey, Wealthy Man, Gift, Official Person, Thief, and Mature Woman. There's a subset of you here that will be doing some trips and travel with Journey, the World, Knight of Wands. I think that you'll probably have a heck of a time on that. But for everybody else here, you have something around money here with Wealthy Man and the Seven of Pentacles. This card connects to your investments, your retirement accounts, the Wealthy Man, any investment you make in life. Shows up with Wealthy Man, especially with Seven of Pentacles here. I feel like the universe is trying to give you a gift here, which is this new start, okay? And, the biggest piece of guidance here from the cards is try not to second guess the choice that you've made. The choice has already been made. That time is over. Look at where you are now and find the happiness that from within that you can, On the bottom, somebody was really interested in either hiring you, bringing you on, or bringing you into this new position as well, whether this is in a romantic situation or a work situation. So, Capricorn, this is what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.